So there's a price that I pay to be a dad, and I pay it gladly, but it does come at a cost. After 11 years in family court, people, they usually want to know how much money I've spent. And the answer is a lot, right? More than I ever wanted to spend, more than I ever should have had to spend. But money, it's not what troubles me. So it's not what keeps me up at night, right? Money isn't what changed me, right? Money isn't what family court took from me that I'll never get back. I can always get more money. What family court took from me was years, right? It took years of peace away from me and years of certainty, the most important thing, it took moments with my son that existed once, and then disappeared forever. I will never get those back. And that is the biggest thing that it has taken from me, right? And it's there, to quote Frodo, I'm paraphrasing, but there's some wounds that go too deep, right? That time can't heal them, right? Because it's too deep. Because I've had my parenting time unjustly reduced. I've been unjustly put on supervised visitations for periods of time that I was able to fight through the family court system to get that removed. And so yeah, I've gone through limited contact. My relationship with my own child has been controlled by other people. So, and so far, I mean, the vast majority of my son's childhood has been while I was in the middle of litigation. I mean, there was a 6-period time where things were somewhat peaceful, but it's not the legal fees, man. It's the years. And then after that, it's the chronic stress, right? It's the reason why I'm making this video is so that if you're in this situation, you can, it's something to give you some solace and some insight, and just, hey, I'm another one of them going through it. It's a lot of people can't relate to how this feels because they haven't gone through it. But and that's what sucked for me. That's why I created this channel, because I was isolated. I didn't know any other men out there that felt the pain that I've felt and that have suffered the way that I've suffered. There was a huge disconnect. But the chronic stress, it completely rewired my brain, and you're always just thinking about like what allegations might come next, what next is coming, right? What motion might be filed. I had anxiety just checking the mail, right? Like, when's my parenting time going to be challenged next, right? When's the next time CPS is going to be involved, right? When are the cops going to get called? So with like a welfare, so there's welfare checks, there's CPS investigations, there's complaints, all of these repeated accusations that can come your way, right? It's a high conflict situation that a lot of men have to go through, that I've had to go through. And you're in a way, you're very skeptical. I mean, maybe you're living under suspicion, I guess is a way to put it. Cause yeah, I mean, like I said previously, you're always on guard. And so therefore you're hyper vigilant, right? And then when you are in a high conflict situation, you do have to save messages, and you got to record, you got to track timelines and write things down. And there's a lot to keep track of, right? Monitoring compliance with the order, just reviewing all this legal jargon, all these proposed orders line by line. And so the level of vigilance that is required, it just becomes a part of your personality. I'm a very hyper vigilant person after doing this for years and years. And doing it for years and years, it has it does it takes its toll emotionally on you, right? Because you have a litany of emotions that you feel. You feel angry, you feel afraid, you feel frustrated, you feel exhausted, you feel emotionally numb, you feel hopeless, you feel powerless. So it can't, for a lot of men, it can be the death of 1,000 cuts, because a lot of men, they can't shake this, they can't make it out of it. And that's what I want to prevent. I want to prevent men from permanently ending their situation, because things have gotten better. Yeah, there's always something around the horizon that you have to deal with, and you got to prepare for it. But still, I would rather be alive. I would rather be here fighting, right? And so another thing that was taken from me is just trust in institutions and the court system and then attorneys. It's just right, all these experts, because there are a lot of unjust incentives within the system, right? Not all the time. I'm not saying that every single person within this particular system is. Some of them are ethical, but not all. That's what sucks. It's all about, well, where do you live? What state are you in? What city are you in? What county are you in? What judge are you gonna get? How is that judge feeling that day? What is their political leaning? So there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot to account for. And in a way, it also feels like you're living life on hold. Because ideally, I don't want to live in Michigan forever. I would love to move somewhere else, another country in Latin America, I think would be great. Because there are still things that I want to do, and I am in Michigan because it's my role to be a dad, and I'm here on a mission, right, to make sure my son has his dad throughout his entire life, right, until my son becomes a man. And then of course he's going to make his decisions about where he's gonna go to and go off and doing. And I want to be able to set him up for success and make sure that he is a solid man, right? That he can handle the world properly, be able to regulate his emotions and find happiness in life. That's important to me. And I want him to know that I did everything that I could so that he could have a good life. Right? I have gone through hell. I still am in hell, but when you're in hell, you keep going. So for a lot of men out there, they do feel like they're on hold, like life is on hold, because they feel like they can't enter into a relationship. Because there's just, you only have so much bandwidth, right? You're dealing with all of this stuff, and you just want to enjoy your fatherhood, but you can't, right? You just want to be able to build that business or have these relationships, friendships. You want to travel. You want to have peace of mind. You want to enjoy fatherhood, right? But instead, you're having to deal with litigations and preparing for that and dealing with all this documentation and these hearings and the responses to judgments and investigations. And there's all this conflict management that goes on. And with that, you get this constant fear of losing more, right? Because it's hard to stay in the present because you're always thinking ahead, because you're thinking what could still be taken, what could be taken, more parenting time, right? More years, more moments, more opportunities with your child. And that uncertainty, it creates a very different psychological burden that it's hard to explain, really. But I just want y'all to have a better frame of reference because that is why I started this channel. I talked to a lot of men one-on-one, and I talked to one today who had been through a lot, and so we had a really good conversation. There are so many men out there that they want some peace, some genuine peace, and They may have caught glimpses of it in their lives, but then it was taken from them. And as you get older as a man, you start looking back on your life and evaluating that, and then you're looking ahead, and you're also looking at the world, and you're seeing what the state of the world, because that plays a huge role, right? There's a lot of uncertainty. Like I said, that's one thing that happened to me, was this. It created this uncertainty with my relationship with my son, and that I've always hated uncertainty, but I've gotten used to it. It doesn't make it easier, but I just wanted to share that. And in closing, the family court, it did not simply cost me money, right? It consumed years of my life that should have been spent being my son's father.